Welcome to Clause 8, the #1 podcast on intellectual property, trusted by top in-house counsel, judges, and policymakers worldwide. Hosted by Eli Mazour, we bring you in-depth conversations with the personality shaping IP. Brought to you by TradeSpace, where ideas take flight.
Obviously, you mentioned it was a positive thing, but just dealing with pools, what was it? Did you have any pain points when you were adult B, when you were like, hey, if I had a magic wand, this is what I would want all these pools to do?
One of the pools that we participated in had a very high threshold for making changes to the program. So, in fact, one of the programs we participated in had the requirement that any decision was unanimous. And you can just imagine how difficult that is. And so that is, to me, sometimes even if you make the wrong decision, as long as you do it quickly and correct, you're better off than not making any decision for a very long time. So that was one of the early challenges that I saw. And one thing, we have certainly tried to correct. And there's this sort of tension between licensors who tend to want to have a very high voting threshold, so they feel like they have influence and on the outcome. From our perspective, we want to have it so we can move quickly, and to me, it's okay if you make a wrong decision every once in a while. If you can also correct it, it's to me a better outcome.
Can you tell us a story about, I guess, what made you move to VIA licensing from Dolby?
Oh, it was just there was maybe a little bit of just happenstance, but honestly, I attribute it partly to COVID. It just was like, it's like, 2 years locked in my house. I felt like, I just needed a change of some kind or another. And around the end of the COVID lockdown, the role at VIA opened up, and it just felt like is the right time, right place, and right opportunity.
And now that you are at the bridge, anything that has surprised you that maybe you didn't fully appreciate when you were?
As only a licensor, so far not. It's been well, we'll say this is that, so one of the first things that I worked on was merging VIA and MPEG LA into one organization, and it worked for a lot of reasons, and I think it was has been a very good thing for us. And one of the things that made it work was that the two organizations had a similar sort of philosophy and culture. I mean, both of them tended to be, try to be balanced and not too licensor. I think VIA maybe was a little bit more licensor friendly, and VIA MPEG LA was maybe a little bit more licensee friendly, but they were close together in terms of how that was. So it's been that kind of worked. And but the thing that surprised me is just how long it takes to integrate two totally separate independent organizations into one organization, and get everything flowing in the right way. So you think it's going to take a long time. I think it honestly, it probably took a couple of years. That's been a couple of years behind us. It probably took us a couple of years before we got after the merger to get everything working together in the right way. And in fact, we're still dealing with the IT systems and getting that ironed out. It's just stuff like that. It takes way longer than you ever think it will.
Even the pool organizations. And, obviously VLA and MPEG LA were, historically two of the most significant, I guess, pool administrators. Like, brief history there that, I guess, in 1995, I guess the DOJ and FTC basically said, patent pools are a good thing. And then there's a letter issued by DOJ. MPEG LA was formed in 1997 for the MPEG-2 format, which is digital television signals. And then VLA licensing was in 2006, I believe, with the RFID. And I guess I'm talking about that in that, these are like the two giants coming together. And you hinted at some of that, but I guess can you tell us more about why you thought that made sense?
VIA had historically really extraordinary success in running audio programs. MPEG LA had historical success in running video programs, um, as well as some other things, as well as some communications and other things. Um, when when we when I started at VIA, we looked around at what are the opportunities that we have, and actually one of the things, as a pool administrator, you wouldn't believe how long it takes to start a new program. It takes so long to get the licensors into a room together, to then get them talking about what are the terms, to get them all to agree on here's the structure and all that kind of stuff. It takes a very, very long time to start a new pool. And so when I started, MPEG LA was unique in that they had done the groundwork to have a number of new pools launched, but ones that had not yet obtained commercial success. And so it's sort of unique in that we saw it as an opportunity to, jump ahead in the game of having some pools that we could really try to drive forward. And that's, in fact, what we were focusing on are some of the pools that technologies that MPEG-LA had programs for, but had not yet gained market success.
And I saw VLA has described itself as the world's largest patent pool organization. Do you think that's important for any particular reason, or is it kind of more of a, yeah?
Oh, yeah, no, it is. I think it is important. There's a few things about it. One is that we are trying. We do try very hard to build a community of licensors and licensees because, like, getting people to at least listen to each other once in a while helps a lot in finding common ground. And one of the unique advantages that we have is that, we have over, like I said, we have over 1,000 licensees for some of our programs. You know, for among the various programs we have, I think we're, closer to 100 than 50 in terms of the number of licensors that we have participating in our programs. And so when we want to start a new program or talk about something, it makes it easier for us because we have a relationship with the important licensees, and we have a long relationship with the important licensors. A couple things that we do, and this is maybe a little bit just barely promotional, but we have it's responsive. We have one of the typical things for pools is they'll have pool meetings, and we do ours now twice a year. We have one in September and one in March. But at that time, we get all of the licensors together to talk about the programs, and it's really convenient because we have our we organize all the licensors to come to one place at the same time, and they can come and join and participate in the various different pool discussions for the different programs all at once, rather than doing a one-off here and there. So that's been one of the things that's made it easier, and it makes it easier for us to start new programs because we have everybody in the same place to talk about something if we want to.
And I think your logo, like you said, makes it clear how you want VLA to be viewed as really a bridge between licensors and licensees. Sorry for returning back to this, but it seems like the licensors accept this. The innovators, they accept it, but the maybe so the implementers are more skeptical of that, and they see that no, it's just a bunch of licensors getting together and trying to make us give them money. Um,
That's one of the really unique things about the patent pools is that the companies who implement the technology are 100% welcome to come and participate in the discussion around forming the pool, as a licensor. So whoever it is, if they have patents, we're happy. We want, in fact, to jump back to one of the questions you asked earlier, one of the other things that's been an important indicator of success is having a licensee in the room when you start a new program. And that's important because it does help strike a better balance. And we want that. I mean, we want that. And so the one I have, to say it this way, I have little sympathy for the implementers who complain about not having influence on the outcome when they don't participate in the first place.